There's the equation for you. 139 required from 104.
Straight to the man at 45. Good work in the field. He'll be disappointed. He's the only man behind square on the onside. And he's hit it straight to him.
I like how he's bowling, Janak Prakash. Beautiful shape. That's the line.
You were asking about the surface last night and how it played, and today in the seamers. Definitely when they've pitched the ball up, especially with the newer ball, they've got a little bit of shape. Tendai Chatara did that with the new ball yesterday. Neville Madziva did it as well. Definitely just a bit of shape when the guys pitch the ball up. Less today because possibly the humidity levels not as high as they were yesterday.
Yeah, it has been very humid around Singapore, of course. We've had the good old haze in the last few weeks. That's a wide again. It's had a couple of these. And yeah, the weather hasn't been conducive, I have to say, for anything really. A lot of sports events have been curtailed, and thankfully we are at the end of it, it appears. I think you guys brought in the good weather for us, so thank you.
Well, we're only here for a few more days, so we might take it home with us.
Yeah, this series, of course, is on tomorrow. There's a one-day break, and then we are back on from Tuesday to Thursday. And if you're around, do come down to the IA ground. And a very warm welcome to all our viewers around the world. I know this is attracting a lot of attention for Nepal, so a very warm welcome to our Nepali viewers. I know there's a sense of revenge after Singapore beat them at this very ground as well, not too long ago. And Janak, by the way, had a superb catch, which has gone viral. I'm sure you can put that on YouTube or on Google and you'll find it. It's an absolutely incredible catch. This man right here.
Well, that's a nice shot. Quick outfield. It won't be quick enough to get to the boundary. The man at deep back with square leg, making his way around to Kyle corner. A nicely timed shot. And this is what I'm talking about. I need to see more of. Nice clip off the legs, a couple of runs, scoreboard ticks over. Not this hit or miss that we've seen a lot of from Nepal.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit better now in that sense. Pretty good over so far from Janak. Sure he's got a point or two to prove as well after missing out on that recent tournament in Malaysia.
I like the look of Arif Sheikh. Looks organized, good technique, good defense. Looks a very compact player. And of course, once you've got those fundamentals, then you can always branch out and be a more exciting player, play your strokes, but you need that foundation first.
He's been watchful, hasn't he? 2 off 8. He's also been up against Janak. Oh, well, he went for it. Not all that far away. End of the over, 27 for 1. So the skipper brings himself on, Tim David. Right arm off spinner. Starts off nicely. It's cramping him up for room there, Paras Katka. That's a bit of a hoik, but it does the job.
Yeah, he's just held that back, hasn't he? And that's the reason why the hoik. I think he probably wanted to go straighter. Because the ball was held back so much, ended up going across the line because the ball didn't get there as soon as he thought it would.
Now, Arif Sheikh, we talked about him earlier being watchful. Tino likes the way he approaches things, and just that bit of pressure building up on him now. It's another dot. Comes from a great height as well from Tim, doesn't it?
Sneaky. Just the little pause in the action, making sure that he gives himself the best opportunity to see anything the batsman is thinking of doing.
We saw that.
Down the wicket, maybe.
Saw that earlier, didn't we? Isham Pandey tried to premeditate. Yeah, he's a man who looks like he's under pressure, but that will help his cause. Just about kept that in.
And be disappointed with that misfield. Ball's gone straight to him. Just releasing a little bit of the pressure.
So, end of the over, 30 for 1 off 5, and we'll have a change of commentary. Navneet Krishna and James McGullin.
Thank you, Shez. Thank you, Tino. James, welcome to the commentary box.
Thank you. Good to be.
Chasing 152. What's good to see today is the application and the intent of the captain, Paras Katka. We saw him being a little wayward and reckless with some of his shots yesterday, but there is clear intent today, and it's probably because of who the opposition is, Singapore, and we saw what happened the last time these two teams met, James.
That's right, yes. Paras is clearly experienced, played a lot of internationals, and you know, he knows also his cricket. Just watch this ball here. Well played through mid-wicket. Probably pick up.
Fantastic piece of fielding there at the boundary line on the leg side. Certainly saved his team 2 runs. And that's the kind of application that you need from every single player on the field. You can sense that there is something in the air about this game.
Yeah. I think, yeah, as I was saying, Paras has played a lot of cricket. I think he probably sees that he probably will need to bat through. Somebody needs to make a statement where they're batting through and people can bat round him, and I think he's that man that can do the job.
Absolutely. They will need him to lead from the front. The bowler's going to run back again. They will need him to lead from the front, just the way Captain Tim Davids did, captaining his side for the very first time, and what a knock he played right till the very end, finishing off the innings with a massive blow over long on. And Paras would love to follow suit.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Okay, Arif is going to hopefully support Paras through his through their partnership.
He's looking good in the center today as Paras.
So this is the last over of the power play, I gather, yeah, so they'll be looking to score as much as they can with the infield set. So beyond that, we'll see their strategy.
James, you've obviously spent a little more time with this Singapore team, having spent ample amount of time coaching some of the youngsters here at the Singapore Cricket Association. Talk to us a little bit about some of the players here. We've heard so much about Janak Prakash, and very impressive in the little that I saw of him with the ball, and he was pretty quick as well.
I'm currently coaching for the SCA Junior Girls squad. That's a great shot to mid-wicket. Found the gap.
Well, I'm pretty sure there are plenty of Nepali fans watching this broadcast at the moment, and they'll be very happy with the way their captain is leading the charge here. Flicked off his pads with utmost ease, and that raced away to the square leg boundary for 4 runs. And they certainly are on the move on Nepal. 36 for 1 into the 6th over. Much better performance than what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, having wickets in hand is going to be crucial during these middle overs. I think we saw that with Singapore's innings, how Tim David navigated the strike, interspersed with sixes, and got them to a score probably maybe 10 short of what they realistically wanted, but it was a great finish to get that 6 off the last ball. So 150 they can defend, and in reply, Nepal have they're well set, only one wicket down and 36 on the board, so it's a well set up for both teams to take advantage.
Wide outside off, and Arif will be absolutely livid with himself, and you can see the expression on his face. In fact, that was Paras, my apologies. That was asking to be hit. Obviously, no one on the boundary line on the offside. Any sort of contact would have probably meant that the ball racing away to the boundary line on the offside, square off the wicket, wasn't meant to be. But you can see the intent on Paras's face, on his eyes. You can see that they certainly want to win this game and settle a score against Singapore.
Okay, well worked to mid-wicket for 1. Quite a good start from Siddhant there. Only 6 off that over.
6 overs completed, end of the power play. Nepal 37 for 1. You're watching live coverage, live visuals of the game number 2 of the Singapore Tri-Nations T20 International, coming to you from the Indian Association here in Singapore. And we have a decent crowd in today. That's obviously because the home team, Singapore, is playing today, James. Good to see a crowd in on a Saturday evening.
Very much so, yes. And, the publicity that the national team have been getting from over the last 6 months has, been fantastic. Not only playing well on the field, but the whole idea of streaming games is just bringing a new fan base to Singapore cricket. I think it's fantastic, and you can see it in an evening like this where there are so many people around the ground.
The last I checked, there were over 7,000 folks joining in via Facebook as well, so it's good to see people tuning in from around the world.
Well, that's great. Singapore is really making its mark in international cricket. It's making waves, and you can see just by the level of interest, people sending goodwill messages to the team for the upcoming series. It's a great shot there.
And Paras Katka steps down the track and hoiks one over long on for 6 handsome runs.
Used his feet very well there. Got to the pitch. Clean strike over mid-on.
There's just been so much conviction in his innings today. Paras Katka, 30 of 19. Confident stride down the track. And no hesitation in going over long on. He knew there was a fielder there. Was happy taking him on. And he greets the new bowler, Salador Vijay Kumar, with a 6 off his very second delivery.
That's good, very good experienced cricket from Paras there. 6 off the first ball, just picking up a single, just to move along the strike, interchange the batter, so that again the bowler has to think about where to bowl.
And it was exactly this that was missing yesterday, just application from their batsmen. They lost plenty of wickets in the first 10 overs, and as a result, couldn't put much on the board. And we see exactly the opposite today. Into the 7th over, just the 1 wicket down, gives them the opportunity to rotate the strike, play the odd boundary as well. Essentially exactly what you need to chase down 150.
Yes, and I was looking back at the scores between the two sides in the World Cup qualifier game in July, end of July, and I think they were bowled out for just a tad over 100, and they probably learned from that match as well how to pace particularly the game, the wicket.
Very poor bowling here from Vijay Kumar, drifting down the leg side, and easy pickings for Arif Sheikh here. All he had to do was get some sort of bat on that, and it raced away past the short fine leg fielder for 4 runs.
Yes, great over from Nepal's perspective. 13, and keeping them well on track to it's still a big score to get, but on track. They have wickets in hand as well, which is going to be key at the back end of this game.
And a Nepal fan watching this will be happy with the fact that they still have Deependra Singh Iris, Sompal Kami, Binod Bandari and Karan Kesai to come. They all certainly can bat and contribute with plenty of runs. But it's that man, the number 2 on that list, Paras Katka, who will have to lead from the front if Nepal will have to see this through. 106 required in the remaining.
So tell me, the starting 11 from yesterday to today, have they made many changes?
Just the one change. Sushant Bari comes in place of Sandeep Johra.
And generally speaking, it's a young, relatively youthful team that Paras has brought with him?
Absolutely. Plenty of big names missing. Sharat Vesavkar, Gyanendra Malla, the ever so experienced Basant Regmi as well. And so an opportunity for the youngsters. Obviously, Kushal Malla, Ishan Pandey making their debuts in this tournament. So it's great to see that an opportunity like this
Agreed, yeah.
provides the platform for the future of Nepal cricket. And while we say that, a change in the bowling for Singapore, Anand Krishna comes on.
That turned quite a bit, that first ball. What are they going to get here?
Ah, look what happened there. Concede another run, not required at this stage. Singapore letting this slip slowly, you'd have to say. The last 4 to 5 overs certainly belong to Singapore, to Nepal.
Yeah, 102 off 78. They would probably see themselves as slightly ahead now in that sense. And the next 5 overs could be crucial for the destination of this game. I would imagine that Singapore really would probably need to get wickets quite quickly to really get the pressure that they had on for the first sort of 4 to 5 overs. Krishna in again.
Paras once again. Is there a chance here? Falls right in between 3 fielders. Well, the rub of the green going in the way of the captain of Nepal. He was looking for that expansive drive over covers for 6 runs. Didn't make good contact. And for a split second, he probably felt that was going straight down the throat of a fielder. The good news for a Nepal fan, that didn't happen. Guess what? Makes good contact this time. 6 runs. Short straight boundaries. Well, it didn't matter if this ground was any bigger, because that went well over the boundary line. And Paras Katka has raced on to 42 now in just 25 deliveries.
Tournament sixes, 18. It's been a phenomenal evening for sixes, and I don't think that will be the last that we see of them, particularly if Paras stays in for any longer.
Well, he's taking a liking for the spinners for sure. First Vijay Kumar and now Anand Krishna. And Paras Katka is dispatching them with ease.
Yes, you think they've had the spinners on for quite a few overs now, that the skipper may well think to turn back to some seam bowling. Where's that gone? 4, 6? 6 again.
Is that another 6? Yes, it is. Let's take another look at this. Shot this time, and he pulls it over mid-wicket region. Another 6. On to the members stand there. Much to the disappointment of the local Singapore fans who've made their way on a Saturday evening here to this ground. Paras Katka is doing this in grand style.
Yeah, that's the length he should be bowling. He should be bowling a bit further up and forcing the guy on the front foot. But 2 short balls there which have been dispatched.
8 overs completed, 66 for 1. The 66 for 1 at the end of 8 overs. Solid start from Nepal here. And Arif Sheikh happy to play second fiddle to Paras here. James?
Yes, no, exactly. You just rotate the strike. You don't leave it all on Paras's shoulders, but you just take pressure off him by getting the singles and making the bowlers think. Too short there.
He just looks so much at ease. You can see he's very confident. There's a spring in his stride. He knows he can do this. He wants to see him steam through. And this is a good, solid statement being sent by the captain. Credit where it's due, and credit to Arif Sheikh. James, you pointed out these very happy rotating strike. And what that does is there's no pressure on Paras when he comes back.
Correct, yeah. You know, 3 singles off this over. That's okay as far as Paras is concerned. You know, another couple singles, even a boundary. He knows that he's got a good partner in Arif.
Interesting to see what Tim Davids does. Well, he's made to think in his very first game as captain. The spinners obviously aren't working out. Vijay Kumar expensive so far. 17 he's gone for in the 1.4 overs. Anand Krishna got a bit of the stick in the previous over. And this is an excellent over. Yes, it may just be 5 singles, but Nepal will take it at the moment.
Selador back in for his last ball of the over. Hitting the square. And he's found the boundary. He's pierced the outfield. So yes, again, 4 singles and a 4. 5 singles and a 4, forgive me. So that's exactly what Arif and Paras have been probably strategizing. Singles, rotate the strike. There's a boundary to be hit. Go for it.
With everything that's happening, it looks like we've missed Paras's half century. Captain leading from the front, 54 not out in just 30 deliveries. And we kept saying that someone will need to do what Tim Davids did, and it probably looks like Paras has one up on him.
Yes, he's 54 of 30. It's a very good strike rate. There's still plenty of overs to go, and if he's there at the end, I think Nepal can be probably taking home the plaudits.
It's going to be very interesting to see how Singapore pull themselves back in this game. They will need to change things around a little bit. They seem to be a little more threatening when the seamers were on with the new ball in the first few overs.
Agreed.
But it almost feels like they've loosened the grip with the spinners coming on in the last few overs, James.
You're right, yes. I mean, it just seems like we need to have something that stirs things up a bit. There's been very little chances given, maybe one half chance. But it seems all too easy there. 4 runs, I think, is it? Yeah, it seems all too easy now at this stage, and I think Tim needs to think about changing things up, forcing a change, get Paris and Arif thinking. At the moment, they seem to know how to play out an over, singles and fours, there's gaps everywhere.
What's good to see, there's plenty of interest on social media as well. Fans around the world following live action here from the Singapore Tri-Nations T20I. Folks watching this, if you have questions for us, we'd be happy to take them. If you can have the hashtag Singapore Tri-Nation while you tweet.
Where's that
Big one! Take that! 6 more from Paras Katka. He moves into the 60s. The captain is putting on a show here on a Saturday evening in Singapore. It's raining 6s at the Indian Association, and Paras Katka is sending a strong statement to the Singapore team.
That's great for his younger teammates to see him play like this. As we know, they sent over a young team to Singapore, and to see this Paras leading from the front, controlling the innings, can only be good for the younger guys.
Six more once again. Well, all Anand Krishna is doing is bowling length deliveries, and Paras Katka says thank you. Take that straight down the track. Easy peasy for the captain. Oh boy, does he look. He seems to be in sublime form. Paras Katka is striking well over 200 now. And suddenly it's looking a lot easier for Nepal.
True.
It feels like a very different batting lineup from the one that turned up last evening.
Yeah. Paras must be having to go somewhere early, I guess. The way he's striking, he's just he's thinking, I need to get this game finished over and done with as soon as possible. 60 off 62. It's really their game to lose. Nepal. What is Tim David going to do now with his bowlers? 2 more balls up this over.
We've already seen some tweets coming in on hashtag Singapore Tri-Nation. We'll be happy to take some of your questions, read some of the best tweets coming up as well. Wonderful engagement on social media. And a big thank you to the Singapore Cricket Association for making this happen. It's great to see 3 evenly balanced teams battle it out. As we come to the end of the 10th over, right at the halfway mark, 94 on the board. This is a comprehensive performance thus far by the Nepali batsmen, and Paras has got 67 of them.
Yeah, I think Singapore probably weren't expecting to be pushed around so easily. It's a learning experience in one sense, if you can think of it that way. They've played really well this last 6 months, played a lot of good cricket, and coming up against someone like Paras in form like that. It's tough, but that's elite cricket, and if any country wants to move up the level, you really need to experience the good and the not so good. Take your hat off to Paras though for it so far.
Right. At the halfway mark, that also means a change in the commentary box as well. Shakar Bhattarai says it's raining 6s at Singapore. Are we looking at a maiden T20 century for Paras? Only time will tell. But for now, a change in the commentary box, and it's going to be Tino and Adrian to take you through the next 5 overs. Thank you, James.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Exciting times here at the Indian Association ground in Singapore. 94 for 1 after 10 overs. The captain of Nepal, Paras Khadka, has decided that he wants to get on with things. 67 from just 33 balls. 58 runs required from 60. And as long as Paras Khadka's out there, Nepal will feel that they're in with a good shout.
He's in quite a hurry, isn't he, the Nepalese captain tonight? Huge, huge sixes. Siddhan comes into bowl, just a single there.
Very impressed by Arif Sheikh, 18 from 22, and he's been very happy to just play second fiddle, give the strike to the captain, who is in sublime form this evening.
That's what we were
Not
talking.
the Paras Khadka we saw yesterday. And talking about earlier on, if he can take a leaf out of the book of his counterpart, Tim David, he's done exactly that.
No run there, as his captain sends him back. We saw something similar earlier in the innings when Singapore were batting, how Tim David and its non-strikers and just, supporting, building his innings slowly. But once again, it's been a day of the captain, hasn't it? A night for the captains here at the Indian Association ground. As Paras looks to finish this off.
Quick single, good running. Important to make sure that in between all those big hits, when the opportunities are there to get to the other side, take some quick singles. They do that. 56 from 56. Run a ball from here on in. Really important that Paras Khadka in particular stays out there as long as possible.
Certainly been leading from the front, hasn't he, captain?
Nice shot. Really nicely played. Just opened the face, did Arif Sheikh. Aware that the man at third man is rather fine, and it's a short boundary. So all he had to do was get it past that man at backward point, and the ball was racing away. Moves on to 23.
He may be playing second fiddle, but, he's now got to move on, supporting his captain well. As Paras just times his innings to perfection. Huge. Is it gone? Chance. He's dropped him. Dropped him.
Brings up the 100. For Nepal, 101 for 1 at the end of the 11th. We always talk about how important partnerships are in any form of cricket. And this one, 92 from just 57 balls. Paras Khadka leading the onslaught for Nepal. 101 for 1 now. looking good for the win, registering their first win of this interim Tri-Nation Series.
Good ball, straight through. As Janak Prakash comes back to bowl his third over. Been brilliant, started off with that wicket. They need some more magic from him, the 19-year-old. Tim David needs a plan here, doesn't he? I mean, at the way that Paras Khadka is going, this game could be over really soon. Ease it down. Should just be a single.
Absolutely right. He needs a plan. He needs to get a wicket. More importantly, he needs to get the wicket of his opposite number. Not the easiest of surfaces to come out and start scoring runs quickly on. What they have done well is they've brought that rate right down. It's just under 5.8 now. So that's manageable, even if they do start to lose wickets. Cut away. That's a good shot. There's a man back on the boundary. And keep it to 2.
Yeah, just 48 from 51 needed now. But how well has the captain played tonight? I mean, just those sixes which we've seen in the first half before we came on. Incredible. Leading from the front, as we saw Tim David. Except Paras, well, he's in a rush to get out of here, isn't he?
Out to the man at sweeper on the offside. Another single to the total. Paras Khadka moves on to 71. Very quickly made runs. Janak Prakash been good, 2.4 overs. 1 for 9. He's the go-to man for Tim David. Got to try and get a wicket here.
Only a single there. He's looked good as well, hasn't he, Janak Prakash? Got that early wicket. But since then, it's all been Paras Khadka as he moves into the 70s. It's a completely different batting performance since that we saw yesterday to Nepal today. It's more controlled, composed, only playing the balls to perfection. The shot selection has been on point.
Yeah, when I saw 150 on the board, I thought this was going to be a tall order for Nepal. At the moment, they're doing it at a canter. End of the 12th over, 101 for 6. 106 for 1, sorry. Big heave-ho. And he's going to get 4. There's 2 men back on the leg side boundary. Manages to dissect them perfectly. And a good start to the over. Arif Sheikh, he moves on to 30 from 29. Just 42 required now from 47 balls. Nepal looking strong.
Excellent shot there by the 21-year-old. As he gets to 30, Not being in the spotlight as much as captain, but just moving along slowly, keeping the total ticking. It's a nice shot there. See, he gets back. That's the captain take over now.
It's important for both Paras Kadka and Arif Sheikh to take the team home in these situations. Very easy. Brings up the 100 partnership between the two, 102 from 65. Very easy to think we're almost there, not take the team across the line. Somebody else comes in and does that for you. That crucial stage is shot over extra cover. We know how strong he is in that area. Paras Kadka puts this one away comfortably.
It's almost like he knows exactly where the fielders are placed, and he's picking his gaps to perfection, just dissecting the field. He goes to 75 now. Arif Sheikh on 31. Nepal 115 for 1. Just 37 runs required from 45 deliveries.
Again, taking advantage of those vacant open spaces at extra cover. Paras Kadka is going like a train. Giving himself some room. Allowing himself to open up and hit that ball through that offside. He moves on to 79 from just 40 balls.
Could there be a maiden T20I 100 for him here tonight?
Gone. Straight back over the top for 6. And Paras Kadka moves on to 85. The team moves on to 125. And he means business.
The captain seriously does mean business. I mean, he's been targeting Siddharth. That's 3 4s and a 6 off this over. As you rightly said, he moves to 85.
It's just 27 needed now from 43 balls. It has been an amazing knock from this man.
How could he finish this off? Really need to wicket here, Siddharth.
And this time to the man on the leg side boundary. Will just be 1. Very, very good over. 19 from it. 20 from it. 126 for 1.
Right, glad to be back in the commentary box with Adrian. Thank you, Tino. And with just 26 required in 7 overs, well, this game's going only one way.
It certainly is, and there's only one man who's been doing a lot of talking tonight, actually, with the bat. Paras Kadka, 86 now from 42. At this rate, this match will get over very, very quickly.
Well, just over 7,000 watching on Facebook, and that's well over 11,000 now. So plenty of fans tuning in to watch live coverage of this tournament. That's great to see. And it's probably because of that man on your screen.
And there's only the second match of the tournament as well. Keeping in mind, this is Tim David's first match as captain. Not the note he would wanted to start off with, having done so well with the bat. But it's its opposite number doing all the talking tonight.
Yeah, and interesting to see all the comments coming in on hashtag Singapore Tri Nation. Keep those tweets coming in. Love to see plenty of praise for Paras Katka at the moment. No surprises. He's the talk of the town at the moment. And it doesn't matter if it's leg spin, off spin, the medium pacers, he's taking them all. And let's talk about Arif Sheikh. Have a look at that. 32 of 31. He's striking at better than run a ball. And it almost feels like he wasn't even in the center.
Exactly. I mean, we were just talking about this earlier. He's going about things very slowly, but he's composed, you know. He's just there, supporting his captain, getting on with the job, letting Paras do the majority of striking.
Going once again, goes over long on, 6 more. Well, it continues, doesn't it? It doesn't matter, like I said, whether it's the pavilion end or the far end, or the leg spin or the off spin or the medium pacers, Paras Katka is taking them on today. It is a Paras Katka show, ladies and gentlemen.
7 runs away from his maiden T20I 100 here, the captain.
And the fact that he played that with a horizontal bat, fantastic. They're doing this in a canter. 39 balls remaining. My sense is this is going to be over in the next 2-3 overs if he continues the same way.
Good change of pace there by Arima Anuchal. As he looks for another plan. Tim David definitely needs a breakthrough here. And he needs that man, his opposite number, number 77, Paras Katka, 93 of just 46 deliveries. Goes down the ground, quick single.
Well, there are plenty of Singapore fans who have made their way here today, but unfortunately, it's a bit quiet at the moment because this match is well in favor of Team Nepal at the moment. 14 overs completed, 135 for 1. Right, the big question, can Paras Katka get to 3 figures? It's going to be his counterpart, Timothy David, to bowl at him. He's going to fancy his chances with the short boundaries. 94 he's batting on. Is that going to be it? No. 1, 2. Is he going to come back for 2? No, just the single. Moves on to 95, and with 17 required, you'll probably say he'll get his century, yeah?
I mean, he should, but Timothy David, we've said this, excellent with the bat. Can he work some magic with the ball here? The captain coming on to bowl.
Well, there's not much you can do when a batsman comes at you that hard, right? And I'm trying to wonder from Tim's perspective as to what they could have done differently. It almost felt like it didn't matter to Paras Katka because he kept hitting them.
He comes into bowl now. It's gone.
4 more. Well, he's going to make things a little more interesting for Paras Katka now with Arif Sheikh getting a boundary. 36 of 32. The signs of maturity, just the temperament shown from Arif Sheikh, gives Paras so much more confidence, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And we've seen that. You know, he's just going about slowly with his innings. Oh, it's an absolute beauty from the captain.
Yeah, there's
Absolute
still
ripper.
plenty of bounce on offer for the spinners as well.
No run there.
You probably think that Arif is happy to play out the over, Adrian?
Yes, he is. And it's just a really mature innings from the 21-year-old. Really supporting his captain. Bit of confusion there. Single. As a man who's done everything tonight, take strike. He's got a ball left in this over. Do you think he'll finish it and get a century tonight? Or will we see a little bit more?
Well, I'm not going to put it past him. With everything that he's done today, I'm not going to put it past him. Timothy David is going to take a second attempt at it now. Here we go. There you go, big one! Century for Paras Katka. Up comes the bat from the captain of Nepal. And boy, oh boy, has he sent a statement to Singapore. We knew it the second he stepped onto the field today. There was an intent. He knew he wanted to get this done. And what a show he's put on for everyone here at the Indian Association in Singapore. Take a bow, Paras Katka. You absolute beauty.
Incredible hitting from the Nepalese captain tonight. Seeing it like a football out there. There's no answers for any of the Singaporean bowlers tonight as Paras gets his maiden T20I 100.
People of Singapore, yes, the match hasn't gone their way, but they've been treated to batting of the highest quality. Arif Sheikh, 37 of 35, but Paras Katka has stolen the limelight. 101 of just 49 deliveries. Heading towards an early finish here. Just 5 required, and for Paras Katka, that's just 1 delivery.
End of the 15th over. Oh no, still going.
Start of the 16th, in fact.
Thought we were done. Just real maturity shown by Arif Sheikh tonight.
Application, maturity, and that was the need of the hour, and that was exactly what Ryan Burl and Mutum Bami did yesterday.
Yep.
Match-winning partnership got them past the line. And that's exactly what these two have done today. Arif Sheikh and Paras Katka. Excellent piece of fielding.
Direct hit, but it's not going to single. Just 4 required now of 28 deliveries. But we've been treated to some excellent cricket tonight. First with the captain, Tim David. And now his opposite number. Can he finish it?
I'm just reading out some of the tweets that I'm seeing for hashtag Singapore Tri Nation. Bipul Bhattarai says, Paras Katka now has both the first ODI and T20I century for Nepal on his name. Well batted, boss. Certainly well batted.
I'm sure he's waiting to see Nepal play some test cricket so he can set a record there as well.
Well, this man has quite a following back in Nepal, and he's treated the Nepal cricket fans this evening. What a show he's put on. Just 4 required now. And that's the beauty of this tri-series, isn't it? Nepal lost to Zimbabwe yesterday, getting the better of Singapore today. Well, once they get these 3 runs, very difficult to pick one from these 3 teams, and that's what's making this interesting and very intriguing.
Quick single there. I'm just looking at Paras Katka's strike rate here. He's striking at 200, 9 sixes, and 6 boundaries. 200.
At some point, the size of this ground was going to come into play.
Exactly.
Paras Katka has taken full advantage of the short straight boundaries. He's used the long levers. He obviously has a good reach. And he took on the fast bowlers initially and then the spinners in the middle overs. And he's doing it to the medium pacers once again towards the end.
And Arif Sheikh has gone about his business slowly. Still managed 5 boundaries, but growing it around the ball.
Singapore have had absolutely no answers and plenty for the new captain Tim Davids to go back and think about. What are the changes that he will need to be doing? Because they're up against a confident-looking Zimbabwe team tomorrow. And that is a boundary, and that will be it, ladies and gentlemen. A convincing win for Nepal, coming back strongly after an ordinary evening last evening, winning this game by 9 wickets. And that man on your screen, Paras Katka, the captain, leading from the front, 106 in just 52 deliveries. His first ever T20I century.
Incredible batting from the captain, leading from the front, first T20I 100. Nepal made this chase seem very, very easy.
Well, was that previous match, the finals of the Asia T20 qualifiers, playing on his mind? We will never know. But it just felt like Paras Katka was a man on a mission.
He was.
And now it certainly is mission accomplished.
A 145-run partnership between Paras Katka and Arif Sheikh. Does Nepal win this comfortably? 9 wickets in hand.
You're watching match number 2 of the Singapore Tri-Nation T20I series, brought to you by Instarem. And we come to the end of match number 2. Zimbabwe took match number 1, and a convincing performance by Nepal means they win match number 2. They win by 9 wickets, courtesy a 145-run partnership by Arif Sheikh and Paras Katka. Apologies for the numbers on your screen there. Paras Katka did get to his century.
He's still stranded on 90.
Yeah.
He did get his first T20I 100. And tomorrow, Singapore will be back. They'll play Zimbabwe. And will certainly a lot to think about for the new captain, Tim David.
And for everyone tuning in, thank you for tuning into live coverage here. All the thousands of Nepali fans and fans around the world tuning in to Facebook, the Singapore Cricket Association. You can also view live action from the Fan Code app by Dream 11. Willow HD TV has you covered as well, and VCSports.com. All in all, 2 fantastic games of cricket. Promises to be an exciting week ahead.
It certainly does. And just keeping in mind how easy Nepal made this chase tonight compared to their batting yesterday. I mean, it was just a complete different performance. And maybe you're right. That game against Singapore a few months ago might have been playing on the captain's mind. But today, he had all the right answers as Nepal win this game comfortably.
Quick look at the scoreboard. There you go. 106 of 52, striking at over 200 Paras Katka. They didn't even require the services of Dipendra Singh Airi, the star from the previous game. 154 for 1. We come to the end of match number 2, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to be back with you shortly in a few minutes for the post-match presentation. Thank you, and we'll see you back in a few minutes.